Hey, Dad, what you doing?
I'm just putting a piece of paper on the wall, son, because we're going to measure our height today. Because I'm sick and tired of hearing, "Oh, Andrew, you're so tall. Oh, Andrew, you're taller than your dad." You're not taller than your dad, and today we prove it. Get your butt against the wall. Get out of the way. Here you are, right there, my boy. Andrew, Andrew. And put the mark on the paper, not the wall. You'll be repainting the whole bedroom. Have you got it there? You got it? Who's taller?
According to that, you are, but that doesn't make any sense.
Get out of my way.
This is the 10 Minutes with Andrew podcast. And now, here's Andrew.
Welcome back to 10 Minutes with Andrew. I am, of course, Andrew, and I'm again joined by my dad, Mark Chanceys. Welcome back to the show.
Good Sunday morning to you, my friend. How are you this week?
Good, but I just realized I just lied to you.
You lied to me.
Off camera.
Not good. What did you lie about?
I said I never heard this song before. I have.
You might have heard this song. This is Ace of Base.
Yeah.
From 1993.
Yeah, 93.
So,
wow.
31 years old. And it's off the album also called The Sign, which is the name of the song. And in 1994, it was the best-selling album of 1994. So they weren't one-hit wonders. They had a few hits off of that album. And they're from Sweden, where Willie Nylander is kind of from.
Yeah, and
because Willie Nylander is Canadian.
Another fact about 1993, last team, a Canadian team, won the Stanley Cup.
You had to bring that up, did you?
I did.
Well,
I just wanted to put a fact in there.
Okay, well, speaking of signs, all signs are pointing towards us getting back on the golf course within the next couple of weeks, I hope. So we'll be striping it down the fairway. Now look at this putt, right?
This is me.
They say golf's a tough game. You make it look kind of easy. This is at Osprey Ridge in Nova Scotia, Bridgewater, Nova Scotia. There's Gramps.
That's a rare one for me.
So it won't be long. Look out before the Chanceys boys are taking over the links.
And
having some fun, of course, on the golf course.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
well,
big week. We had a solar eclipse, a full solar eclipse on Monday.
Which we couldn't see.
No, and I like watching Overdrive on TSN.
Yeah,
it's
fun.
Hayes, Noodles, and the O-Dog, Jeff O'Neill.
Yeah.
And I have to say, they were talking about this Monday. I agree with Jeff O'Neill. I don't see what the big deal is about the solar eclipse. I know I'm in the minority.
Me too.
And people say, but it's once every 70-something years. I said, yeah, great, but that doesn't excite me. Someone said to you, you don't have to pay income tax once every 77 years. I'd get excited about that. But that's not the way things are.
Yeah, I mean, I don't understand it either. It's a big science thing, but I'm not a science guy. I know you're not either, so I mean, I'm not into it.
No.
All right.
So I don't totally understand the solar eclipse phenomena. Like you said, we had 7 miles thick of cloud cover, so all that happened in our part of the world is things went dark for a few minutes, and then they went back to normal, and it's all behind us now.
Yeah, but out in Gander, I believe they saw it. There was a bunch of people out there.
Well, I heard people flew from France to Niagara Falls to take in the solar eclipse. I hope they didn't get the cloudy skies we had. That would be a bit of a wasted trip.
That would be a wasted trip.
But anyway, that's it. What are we doing today, my son?
Today, we are playing the most popular game. What are the Chanceys?
What are the Chanceys? This is my favorite. Mostly because our name is in the title.
Yeah.
And it's a clever little name.
I don't
know who came up with that. And before we get into the game, I just want to remind everybody, referring back to our opening, there's been a long-standing feud in this family about who's taller. I think we nailed it this week, and the controversy's over. I am taller.
You didn't show that. That was blocked.
Oh, that was the wrong one. There's been a long-standing feud in his family about who's taller, and I think we have it on paper.
Yeah, all right.
The video doesn't lie. Everybody saw it. I am the taller of the two Chanceys, and it's always going to be that way.
I guess so.
So let's move on. So what are the Chanceys, eh?
What are the Chanceys?
How does this work?
Well, I have a statement, 3 statements.
Okay.
I'm going to read them.
Okay.
And you're going to give me the percentage chance or chancey of it happening. If it's a low percentage chance or chancey, it's not going to happen. If it's a high percentage chance or chancey, it will happen. And if you're new to this, because I know you're going to say it, I'm usually within the 49 to 51% range.
Yeah, you like to go safe, hey?
I do.
So what do we got? 3 statements?
We have 3.
3 statements of what are the Chanceys?
What are the chances? The first one,
All right. I'm ready.
is
No drum roll for this one.
what are the chances
Mhm.
that Austin Matthews
Uh-huh.
hits 70 goals? He's at 69.
Whoa, that's a big one to start this morning. So last night, Leafs play the Red Wings. Whole bunch of stuff happened in that game. He needed 2
He did
to
need
get to
to.
7. Now, a few games ago, he had 6 games left and needed 6 goals. Now he's got 2 games left and needs 1 goal to get to 70. So you'd think it's an obvious going to get there.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you what I think.
What?
0% chancey
Wow.
that he gets to 70. And let me tell you why. I don't think he's playing another regular season game.
You don't think he is?
Nope. I think last night was the shot, and I think Sheldon Keefe did everything he could to put him in a position to get to 70. Their next 2 games are against the Florida Panthers, who they're going to be playing in the first round, most likely,
Yeah.
and Tampa Bay. Do you want Austin Matthews going out in game 81 with the Florida Panthers, who are probably one of the dirtiest teams in the league, and risk injury?
That's true.
Does the 70 goals matter that much? Because I'll tell you what, when game 1 of the playoffs start, 70 goals and what Austin Matthews did in the first 82 games means nothing.
It doesn't, no.
So I'm going to say 0% chancey because I don't think they're going to risk him in another game. Maybe Tampa to give him a couple of shifts, but boy, I wouldn't want him out against Florida in a game that means nothing for both teams. It could get wild and rough, and I think the Leafs should bring up every Marley they have available and just protect your players. I mean, last night, Liljegren gets run from behind by Joe Veleno, which should have been a 5-minute major penalty and a match penalty, was given a 2-minute minor. Liljegren came back. Don't know how he feels today. McCabe, puck in the face.
Bleeding everywhere.
Left the game. They say he's okay. And Bobby McMahon
yeah.
left the game, did not return, lower body injury. Do we really want to start losing players in meaningless games before the playoffs?
Yeah, I hadn't thought about that.
Uh-huh.
Until
Does it change your
because
number? That's
I
the question.
really had thought it was going to be 100%.
So you're 100?
But
If he plays,
it's 100%.
100%.
Yes.
But I'm not convinced he's playing, and I don't know that he would mind too much that he's not
I don't
gonna
know.
play. I think he is a team first guy.
Well, here's the thing. I think if he was at 62, he wouldn't mind it so much. But he's at 69.
Right. But my question then is, what's the big deal? Like, it's great
That's
to say
true.
I got to 70, but does Austin Matthews want to be known as the guy that scored 70 in the regular season or the guy that took his team to the Stanley Cup?
The guy who took a team as a Stanley Cup, you would think.
Because if you look at recent history, Austin Matthews has a little bit of a history of not showing up for the playoffs.
He does.
So 70 goals in the regular season hasn't been translating, or 60 goals in the regular season, or 50 goals in the hasn't been translating in the playoffs. I think Leaf fans and Austin Matthews would like to see this in the playoffs. And if he only scores 10 meaningful goals in the playoffs, that'll be a lot more valuable than 70 regular season. Just my opinion. So
Yeah.
I'm saying 0% because I don't think he's playing another game. I could be wrong.
My number, I think, is going to be
50?
no. I think you know what? It's going to change. I think I'm going to go with a 13.5.
13.5% chancey that he hits 70.
Yeah, because it was 100, but
So really,
you just put that in my head.
yeah. So really, the question is not really hit 70. What are the chances that Austin Matthews plays another game? That's what the question is. Because if he plays another game, he's probably hitting 70.
Yeah.
But what are the chances he plays another game? I say very low chance he plays another game.
I don't
You
know.
have to protect this lineup. Give them some rest. Do not risk injury in games 81 and 82. Because when game 1 starts and you haven't got them, now you're in big trouble. Don't forget, you're probably playing the Florida Panthers.
And they were the ones that knocked you out last year.
Who went to the finals last year.
Yeah, they did.
And they are a tough, dirty team. And they would not hesitate to go after key players before the start of a playoff series, I don't think.
No.
So that was an interesting one.
It
You're
was.
13.5%, and I'm at 0 based on the question, what are the chances Austin Matthews hits 70?
Yeah.
All right. Well, we want to move on to statement number 2.
Statement number 2.
All right.
Drum roll for this.
It's an important one.
What are the chances that Shohei Ohtani
Woohoo!
will win the National League MVP?
Well, this might be an easier one for me. I'm going to go with 96.7% chancey that he wins the NL MVP. Why wouldn't he? The only thing that would stop him, well, there's a couple of things. Injury.
Yeah.
And where he's not pitching this year, he doesn't have quite the same appeal that way, but the man so far early in the year is hitting .343 with 4 home runs and 10 RBIs. So off to a fine start with the Dodgers.
Yeah.
And those would, extend it over the season, be MVP-like numbers for sure.
I'm going to go with a 15% chancey that Shohei Ohtani wins National League MVP.
Wow, you don't
Very low.
You don't have much faith.
Ohtani's a great player,
Yeah.
best in baseball,
Yeah?
but he's not going to be the one to win the MVP.
Who's going to win that?
It's going to be another Dodger. Mookie Betts.
Mookie Betts is off to a good
is
start,
going
too.
to win the MVP. He's off to a very good start, and I believe he was in the conversation last year for MVP. I can't remember if I don't think he won it after, but Mookie Betts, I think, will win the MVP. I think Ohtani will definitely be in the runners up. I think so will Freddie Freeman.
I think the Dodgers have a few people that could possibly win an MVP.
They do, yeah.
Which is unlike the Blue Jays, but we'll talk about that
We
a
will.
little later.
Yeah. The next statement's actually about the Blue Jays.
So you don't think much of a chancey of Ohtani being MVP, and I think a lot of a chancey.
Yeah, I just think it's going to be Mookie Betts.
We will see.
He's off to a great
Beauty
start.
is we have 140-something games left before we have to figure out who's right or wrong.
You know who's else? Another Dodger's off to a great start? Teoscar Hernandez.
Teoscar Hernandez.
Former Blue Jay.
Former Blue Jay. Went to Seattle. Now on as a Dodger and also not getting paid.
Yeah, another deferral on a 1-year deal.
Another deferred contract. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's pretty good. So that was statement number 2. I say yes to Ohtani being MVP. Andrew says probably not. That brings us to number 3, which is going to be a bad news. I know what's coming. So
Okay.
all right.
What are the chances that John Schneider will still be manager of the Toronto Blue Jays by September?
Oh, Andrew. This is a complicated question because I have a whole bunch of opinions. That's all I'm full of is opinions and useless information. But a lot of it will depend on what happens to Ross Atkins and his boss, Mark Shapiro.
Yeah, that is true.
Right?
Yeah.
I don't think John Schneider is a major league manager. I don't think he's done anything worth note with this team. I think this team has underachieved since day one. I think they like having Schneider there as the fall guy. They certainly did that to him after the playoffs last year.
Oh, yeah.
Blamed him for everything. But you look at Ross Atkins' track record with managers. I mean, they put in Charlie Montoyo.
And they kept him forever.
Who had zero managing experience.
Yeah.
And then they put in John Schneider, who has zero major league manager experience. And it was all about the guy for these special players, the Bo Bichetts and the Biggios and the Guerrero Juniors. And I don't know. To me, and maybe I'm wrong, but the team is 7-8 to start the season.
Yeah.
They can't hit.
Yeah.
They've made so many questionable moves in the past. It's not a manager problem at this point. It's a general manager problem and a president problem. The president has proven this year that he's not a president of baseball. He's a project manager. and he can get a building renovated. So good for him. Ross Atkins has been at this for 9 years and has done nothing.
9.
And has done nothing and has been drinking the Guerrero Kool-Aid.
I won't bring up Anthopoulos.
Yeah, don't bring up Anthopoulos.
I won't bring up Anthopoulos.
But he's getting a pass on this giving away Gabby Marino trade. And I want to say first, I have no problem with Dalton Varsho. What I have a problem with is what we paid to get him.
For Dalton Varsho.
Now,
Dalton Varsho hit a grand slam yesterday.
Big deal. Dalton Varsho is a wonderful left fielder, outfielder. He plays with hustle. He plays the game the right way. No doubt about it.
He definitely does.
But he is a career 228 hitter.
That is nuts.
So to obtain Dalton Varsho, the career 228 hitter, Ross Atkins saw fit to give away at one point the number one prospect in baseball that wasn't a pitcher, Gabriel Moreno. And if that wasn't enough for him to say, we're going to give you the number one prospect for Varsho, we're also going to throw in Lourdes Gurriel Jr., who is a career 280 hitter. This year is hitting 317 and has 18 RBIs.
Man.
I could just see Arizona general manager probably said, Ross, we'll get back to you on that. Hung up the phone, called his boss and said, you are not going to believe what we're getting for Dalton Varsho.
I'm sure he did.
And Bob Costas said on the playoffs last year when Arizona was playing and they was talking about the success they were having, he said something to the effect, Arizona is having this success because they were able to fleece the Blue Jays.
He did say that.
And that's exactly what they did. Dalton Varsho is a fine left fielder.
Dalton Varsho.
But he's not worth the number one prospect in baseball. And then another guy on top of that who's hitting 280 career hitter. Doesn't make any sense.
Dalton Varsho.
Yeah.
When that trade happened, I remember texting you with the article that trade had just happened, and you said to me that he was another Joey Gallo.
Well, I don't know if he's better in the field,
and that's actually what you sent me.
But he cannot hit,
and that's exactly Joey Gallo.
But go ahead.
And here's the thing, Dalton Varsho. If we had signed him in the offseason without giving up that stuff, it would have been great.
Yeah.
He plays the right way. He's a great player.
I agree.
But to know what we gave up for him.
I don't even want to go there because we're left with Kirk.
Alejandro Kirk,
who's now hitting 133 on the season.
Speaking of.
And can't throw out a runner.
I know. And they tell all these guys.
He couldn't throw me out if I was stealing something.
Yeah. They tell all these guys like Manoah and Guerrero, go lose some weight, come back. Can you not tell Kirk the same thing? Are they telling Kirk the same thing?
I'm looking at the game yesterday, and between Kirk,
Vogelback,
and Guerrero himself, right? Not exactly the fittest of lineups.
No.
But I don't understand how Atkins is getting a free pass on that. I know they glossed over it last year by saying you can't evaluate a trade on 1 year. But you stated last year, Mr. Atkins, that this was going to be a defense-first team, and that's why they went after people like Varsho. And how'd that work out for you?
I know.
Yeah, you lost every game by 1 run.
Yeah, and then you made the dumbest decision.
I don't think you scored in the playoffs. Did they score a run in the playoffs? I can't remember.
I think you scored 1 or 2, but it was nothing.
Over 2 games.
Then you made the dumbest decision, and then you went out there and you said, I didn't know anything about it. You completely threw your manager under the bus.
Yep. Well, his dishonesty hurts a lot. And I think the Blue Jays are in a tough spot. I think they're about to go through a period of irrelevance, if that's a word.
And I actually...
Like in the late 90s, early 2000s, when nobody showed up to the yard to watch.
It's funny, I was actually going to just mention that.
Yeah.
Because you said off camera that the Rogers Center attendance is going to go down and down and down.
It's going to go down big time.
And like even a couple of games ago, I saw I had it on for like a second, and I saw a foul ball down the line. I looked up at the section. It's empty.
Well, it's not,
like
not nearly as bad as it's going to get if they don't figure something out.
People are going to drop, and Rogers is going to see that, and they're going to say, listen, we got to make a move here because this is exactly where we were back in the 90s and the 2000s.
It's not a manager move, and we haven't answered the question yet. But while I'm on my rant, it's time for Vladimir Guerrero Jr. to realize he is a professional athlete, and the only thing that matters is winning.
Yeah,
it's not tea parties in the dugout. It's not telling jokes at first base with the other team when they're at first base. It's not pimping solo home runs in April and taking 35 seconds to run around the bases and doing your little shush gesture as you get to third.
Yeah.
Play the game to win. This is a serious thing that fans want to see happen. We want to win.
Yeah.
We're not interested in your giggles and chuckles and all the fun you're having.
Yeah.
You want to have fun? Join a beer league.
There you go. And here's the thing. Sid Sixero said it last year after the playoffs had ended. Somebody tell Vladdy first base isn't a social club. That's exactly what he said.
He is all about, from what I can see, and this is just a fan watching, it's about his own stats. Wants to hit the long ball, then he pimps out the home run trot. It's embarrassing.
I know.
Play the game to win.
And Vladdy also said that he wants, that stupid home run jacket to come back. I know it's a minor thing.
A good example.
I know it's a minor thing, but still.
It's where his focus is.
That's his focus.
It's all about fun. It's not about fun, Vladdy. You want to have fun, go play softball in a beer league. You'll have fun every time you play.
And I know some people might be thinking, well, we didn't bring up Bichette and his numbers right now. Here's the thing. Bo Bichette will turn it around.
But Bo Bichette can hit. He
Bo
hit over
Bichette
300 last
is
year,
very consistent.
and he wants to win.
He does.
Right? Vladdy does not give the impression that he wants to win.
And if I'm Bo, when my contract is up, do I want to stick around here if this is how it's going to stay?
You would.
Just leave and get the money you can, because,
The question was, what are the chances that
John Schneider,
he's
still manager by
has to go,
September.
Atkins has to go, the manager has to go. They need to clean house because they are going the wrong way. They need like a Joe Girardi type in there to take control of this
I would
team.
love Joe Girardi.
But the chances of Schneider being the manager in September, 1%.
I'm saying 0.
I think it's going to be that sad of a season. I think they're going to struggle to be a 500 ball club.
Completely agree.
And to save face with the fans, they're going to have to start making some moves because now's the time, folks.
And can I just say one more thing?
Say one more thing.
Here's the thing.
Well, okay. You say here's the thing a lot.
I do too much, I know.
Here's the thing.
How Guillermo Martinez, or whatever his name is, stuck around after last year, that hitting coach.
That is a good point.
Boggles my mind.
Hitting is a major issue for this team and has been for years. And he has been the guy in charge of hitting. How does he keep his job?
I know.
It's a good question.
And I think, wasn't it Dante Bichette was the guy for a little bit?
I don't know what he was. He was some kind of consultant that just made everybody happy in the dugout. I don't know what's going on with that team.
No, I don't know.
They do not come across as a team that is serious about winning.
And Don Mattingly's now offensive coordinator. I don't know what he does, but I mean.
Yeah, it's not working yet.
Yeah.
It is early, but I do think the team's going to struggle to be a 500 ball club this year.
Yeah.
And changes need to be made to make the fans happy and to get this ship turned in the right direction.
Yeah, for sure.
So that brings us to our weekly weight loss update.
Yeah.
We're both on a weight loss program. We took a week off from weigh-in, so we didn't weigh in 2 weeks ago, but we weighed in Thursday, right?
Right.
And what did the scale have to say to you? How did you do over the last 2 weeks?
I was very shocked. The scale
you went up. You must have gone up.
The scale told me I was down 4.2 pounds.
What?
4.2 pounds.
4.2 pounds you were down?
4.2 pounds.
That's incredible.
I know. I was shocked. We now lost 24 pounds in total.
Okay, so that's the show.
Okay.
And I guess we'll see you next week then, hey?
All right.
All right. Well, no, the scale told me I was down 1.2.
I knew you were going to do that. I knew you were going to make that sound.
So I was down 1.2 pounds, and you were down 4.2 pounds. So you dummied me by 3 pounds, but it doesn't matter. We're both down.
As long as we're down.
You are 1 pound away
from 25.
From having lost 25 pounds.
25
so good
pounds.
for you.
Yeah.
Keep it up.
I will.
And hopefully next week.
Hopefully. What?
We're going to have a special show, special guest on.
Hopefully.
So if we can pull it all together.
Special guest.
We will have a special guest on with us. And one of the hot topics will be playoff predictions in the NHL. So stay tuned for that. I'm going to throw it back to Andrew.
Maybe we'll get his thoughts on the Blue Jays.
Well, we'll have to get his thoughts on the Diamondbacks.
Oh yeah, big Diamondback.
So that'll give you a little tease as to what might be coming up.
There we go.
But
so
it'll be exciting.
It will be exciting.
Yeah.
Thank you for listening and watching this episode of 10 Minutes with Andrew. And if you found us on YouTube, be sure to like and subscribe and comment. And we'll be back next Sunday with the next episode.
All right.
All right.
Losing weight and hit them straight.
Keep losing weight, hit them straight. See you next week.
All right, buddy.
Thanks for watching. If you liked this video, be sure to hit the like and subscribe buttons and turn on notifications to be notified when we upload new content. You can also connect with us at andrewchancey.com.